again. Um, but I've been talking to Stevie since 6, so I don't know what happened.
He said he was waiting at 7 o'clock because he said Brian Magnet told him you got to wait till 7. Once you're on, then you can log on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just spoke to him about maybe an hour ago.
Good.
So
good.
just to touch base and all that. So,
All right. Well, fellas, we're live. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Really Charlie podcast. Today, we got a bunch of guys from Holy Family High School out of New Bedford. And they're going to talk to us about a few basketball stories and their experiences while they were at Holy Family. Tony and Randy, if you guys have any devices with volume up, like other than your computer, like if you have a phone or something, just turn that volume down. Which you probably got, you old school dudes are probably working on one thing anyways.
You got that right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm good.
yeah, I'm good.
All right. That way we don't. And it comes Jamie.
Let me call.
How you doing,
What's
Jay?
up, fellas?
How you doing?
What's going on,
What's up, man? How you doing?
What's happening? Good.
Yeah,
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear,
All
man.
right, cool.
Nice seeing you.
Oh, wow, Tony Spencer, what's up, man?
How's it going, Jamie? You haven't changed at all, man.
Same to you, bro.
I'm the only one that put on weight. Everybody else is the same weight. Oh my God. You guys look good.
Yo, you see me from the neck up, bro. So it's all good. It's all good. If I stand up, I'm gonna knock this thing over, man. What's up, Slick?
This is reunion. What's up, Jamie Carr?
Charlie Perry, what's up?
Oh, man.
Good to see you guys, man.
Nice to see all you guys, man. It's me and Tony work in the same place, but I rarely see him, man. I don't see much of him, you know.
Keep busy. Like 2 ships passing, you know.
Yeah.
It's tough sometimes. You know? Busy schedule. You know?
Now I'm working with Stevie, you know, so I see him. You know, so it's good, man. Good. All right, somebody else coming on here. Comanche
Ray.
Let's see.
This is like a starting 4, man. Get one more person.
This is high tech stuff.
Your wrist never changes either.
What's up, fellas?
Comanche, what's happening?
What's up, man?
How you doing, man?
Oh, man.
What's up, Comanche? What's up, bro? Looking good.
Trying, man. Trying to keep up with Charlie.
He doesn't
Yeah.
Charlie's a man.
Trying to keep up with the two boys, you know?
Reunion, damn.
Hey.
Feel like on that NBA shows.
Brings back a lot of memories already, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Crazy.
Well, my basketball memories with you guys is at a younger age, you know, the vets, the barristers, you know, Bay State and all that stuff. You know, but you all were a good crew to watch, man, every single one of you. And I'm just so happy that I got you on board, you know, just to talk a few things. And whether it's good, bad, or ugly, you know, I just want you guys to be you. And this is I got somebody else trying to get on. It has to be Stevie probably, but so at any point at high school, did you all play together?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, I joined them into my junior year. Them guys, Comanche, Jamie, and Steven, started their freshman year. So I kind of joined in afterwards. So
yeah, I came in my sophomore year. I transferred. I didn't play freshman there. I played New Bedford High freshman year. Then I transferred sophomore year.
Yeah, so I kind of got a late start. Also, I was at New Bedford High, transferred to Holy Family.
Same here.
At least you all had a good gym, man. I mean, most of my playing days were at the CYO, and I love playing at the CYO. And you know, you go in that building now, it's weird how they maintained it to keep it up to date. You know, things are pretty cool there. But I always said when I was younger, I was going to own that building. So
well, it was nice because we were familiar with that because we all play CYO, whether we were all the way or I played for St. Lawrence.
Yeah.
And we had some good battles, and all the way would always beat us anyway. But we had some good battles over there. So it was like a home away from home when we played high school ball there. We were comfortable playing on that court. I know I was comfortable playing on that court.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The other guys were too. You know.
It was like our second home.
That was the spot to play. Like you said, CYO high school. You know, even watching other games there. As a game official, that's where I got my start from, was CYO. As a game official, right there, CYO. And obviously, I worked my way up, you know, to the next level, high school and all that. So, you know.
Yeah. Excuse me, guys. Just talk, man. I'm gonna try to get Stevie on here. I'm texting him right now. All right. If you can, who was the coach there? Who was the coach at Holy Family?
When I was there, these guys, it was Bobby Silver was the varsity coach at that time. I believe he was a varsity coach.
Yeah, Bob
Yeah.
Silver and Mickey Gonzalez was the assistant,
Yeah.
and then Bob Silver left my senior year, and then Mickey became the head coach.
Yeah, and then basically, then the school closed down. Well, 85 was the last year. My sister's class was the last year.
Yeah,
And that was,
Jesus, no doubt.
it. And that was sad on itself when the school closed down. I think it was struggling for a while. I think Father Driscoll tried to keep it quiet and want to, let everyone know, but he tried his best.
Yeah.
We tried too. Everyone tried their best on, charity and bingo and something, but it was a struggle. It was a struggle for him.
That's the worst part. Is like, people can go to New Bedford High and go revisit and go to but unfortunately we weren't able to have that same luxury to keep the school open. You know what I mean? I always said if I hit the lottery, one of the things I would definitely do is try to keep, Holy Family alive, keep it going, because it's a special place. So it was a very sad moment when Father Driscoll had to make that decision. I know it broke his heart, and as well as all of ours.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to share some news that they're looking to convert it to some apartments. If you guys didn't know.
Geez.
I had no idea.
The first time I ever heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the neighbors is paying attention over there, and they're trying to sneak it in and convert the whole building to apartments. So,
yeah, that's sad. That's very sad.
Yeah, it was real sad, especially like me at Comanche, maybe with the grammar school. Most of all our lives, we were with the Holy Family.
Yeah.
So we were in the same building most of our lives. I left freshman year to New Bedford High. We were playing baseball there one year, but most of my friends and I grew up with from first grade, 6 years old, same 25, 30 people. So we have some strong ties with that place. It was sad. It was real sad when it closed down. That was a tough day. Tough day. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Father Driscoll tried his best. He really did.
I can recall too. While we were in college, off in the summertime, Jamie and I used to help Father Driscoll out at the Holy Family, kind of help out, fix things, clean things, whatever.
Yeah.
Even to the day it closed. So yeah, it was a sad moment. Sad moment.
Yeah, it's your major influence to get to that school or go to that school, was it Mickey?
No, actually for me it was Jimmy Colbert. He played at Holy Family with David Lato a couple of years before we were there, and he used to go to the Boys and Girls Club, and I was there as an 8th grader, and he was just hanging out, and he had asked me, he said, "Hey, have you ever thought about going to Holy Family?" My brother went to Bishop Stang, and I knew about Mickey and the Gomes family at Holy Family, so I knew of Holy Family, but I didn't really consider it. And Jimmy Colbert said, "I'll introduce you to Father Driscoll," and from there on, it was a no-brainer. That's how I ended up getting there, because Mickey kind of came later on.
Okay. Yeah, it's Mickey still has, when I had him on the podcast, he still has the highest numbers out of all my podcasts, and right now it's over 100. And there was something about him, other stories and what he was talking about, and people glued in on that night, and they paid attention. I got people still talking about it to this day. His experiences at Holy Family, and then later on to Framingham State and I believe it's Boston College University or something like that.
Yeah,
But,
the Boston State.
Yo, Mickey is the best storyteller
Oh yeah.
in the world. Like I can
Oh,
sit
yeah.
to Mickey all day long, all night long, and just laugh. You know what I mean? Some of the stuff we can't repeat because it's a family show.
But
But Mickey's my dude, man. I love Mickey Gonzalez. He's great.
I used to get you all the time down at Knuckleheads, and we'll talk about high school days and before that, and he'll tell me stories from college. And
Yeah.
it's good hearing those stories. We grew up watching him and Dave Lato and Gary Cathcart back in the '70s play.
Yeah.
And to see them was kind of made you want to go to the school. So you wanted to be like them, you know. So they were kind of like, we look up to them, you know, to this day.
Exactly.
And you want to kind of, you know, carry on a tradition. You know, so.
And you know something, Charlie, is we held Mickey in such high regard, but we have to remember, man, Mickey was just out of school himself at Holy Family. It was his first coaching job, his first teaching. He was in his early 20s, but we held Mickey in a definitely higher regard than just some kid coming out of college, because that's how much respect we had for him as a young man. And of course, he became probably arguably one of the best coaches ever in the city. But we forget how young he was as well as how young we were, because we respected his basketball acumen and his knowledge and how he presented himself on the court and as a coach. So we forget about that.
Yeah.
I think Mickey can really relate to us. Like Jamie said, he wasn't that much older than us, and comes from the same area. And I remember one story was, I don't know if you guys remember, we were winning a lot of games our senior year, and one of our traditions, we go to center court, kind of do this, you know, I think it was from a football team. We jump up and high five and all that. We won a bunch of games. So I remember after one time, Mickey pulled aside and said, "Hey, fellas, you got to knock that off, man." You know, once you get to the state is one thing, but you haven't won anything yet. So, you know, so he kind of kept us in check, but he kind of did it in a fun way, you know, kind of ribbing us. But he was all right. You know, he kept us in check, but he can really relate to us. You know, he really did.
He also taught us a lot about life.
Oh, yeah.
He took us through all the stages, you know, from freshman year all to our senior, and even till this day. I still learn a lot from that.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
Absolutely, no doubt.
We're still close to me.
You know, because he cared for us, all of them.
We have that special relationship with Mickey. We have that relationship, that bond with Mickey, even till this day, even past the high school days. Mickey's still there, man, giving advice, telling stories, you know.
No doubt.
Everything, right?
Dude.
Basketball, everything. My influence, the Holy Family, I never crossed my mind to go into Holy Family, but my boys being in, you know, Holy Family, playing basketball and all that, and I wasn't playing any ball. So I would go to the practices and I would go to the games. And there was one day I was at a practice, and for whatever reason, it was Stephen Lopes. He was mouthing off to me about something.
Nah, Steve. Nah.
Yeah. And, so what happened was we ended up playing a one-on-one game in front of the JV players and the varsity players, and it was a tough battle. I ended up edging him, and after that game, Coach Sylvia came up to me and it was like, "Would you ever consider coming to Holy Family?" I says, "I never really thought about it, but after leaving that practice, I was giving much thought, and me and Jamie had talked about it, you know, several times. And at some point, I made a decision to go to Holy Family because being at New Bedford High, I tried out for the JV team. Didn't make the team. Obviously, I knew that they had their roster already intact, so it would have been a long shot for me to make that roster. So in order for me to play ball, I had a good chance playing at Holy Family. And academically was another decision too. Why I went to Holy Family.
Yeah.
You know, so, but I was the right decision that I made. The right decision.
You know, Randy, maybe you can correct me because I know you're a historian, but I think my freshman, going to my freshman year, I think the guys at New Bedford High were like, was it Eric Biddle and Mark Roby? Was they seniors?
They might have had just completed the high school.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I know Ricky Nobre was up there with Dias and those guys.
Yeah. Then we had Todd.
Then you had Todd and Colley. So I knew if I made the team, which you know might not have happened, I wouldn't see the floor until my senior year, maybe, because you had Buddy Wheatley, Kenny Off. I mean, they had a lot of talent on that team. Mm-hmm. And you know, it was just I wanted to play basketball, and I didn't want to sit for 3 years, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was a big influence. And plus, I knew a lot of people, like Tony said, there was a lot of people at Holy Family that we knew. Like I walk into Brian Grace, God rest his soul.
Right.
Donnell, Tony Silva, God rest her soul also. So we had a lot of people there that we knew. I knew Tony from the Boys and Girls Club, Comanche, Pleasant Street, we're growing up together, and Randy's my best friend. So, it was a no-brainer, easy decision to make to go there.
Yeah, I went to New Bedford High my freshman year, 79, 80, and we were undefeated. And like Jamie said, it was a powerhouse. We didn't lose one game.
Mm-hmm.
We came close to losing one game that year. It was the last game to staying, I think, in overtime. That's the closest we came to losing. I was Bobby Duart's backup. I played about 5 games. I swear to God. And a funny story is I really went to New Bedford High to play baseball. My father really wanted to really push baseball. He was my coach from the Verdian Vets on down. So my decision for my parents was said, all right, try New Bedford High, good baseball. Actually, every sport in New Bedford High back in the 70s and 80s, they had a chance to win a state championship. They were that good. They had so much talent. So I said, I'll give it a shot. So I went there to play baseball. My grades weren't panning out, so then I went back to Holy Family. And a funny story is, once I started playing sophomore year with the fellas here, and we started winning, and everyone started talking about by the senior year what we're going to do. Eddie Rogers, who was the freshman coach when I played, went on to coach varsity.
Yeah.
Obviously, they have a Hall of Fame career over there. And he pulled me aside one time after watching us play. He goes, hey, why don't you come on back and you can be Bobby Duart's backup? I'll give you a couple more minutes. I go, I'm all set. I'm happy where I am. It says, I'm not leaving Holy Family. I'm pretty all set here. My father, kind of funny. And I'll tell you another thing. Well, Bobby Duart, people don't know this, but he played Verdi Vets baseball. And if he kept on playing baseball, he probably would have been one hell of a baseball player. But he was so good at basketball, I think his parents just wanted to focus on basketball. But he could have been a hell of a baseball player, too. He was a good athlete. He's one of those all-around athletes. Probably could play football, basketball, and baseball at a high level.
Better late than never, fellas.
Yeah.
Well, we got on before you got on.
Yeah, no.
Steve, you've been trying to help us get on. You just got on.
No.
He's reminding us, especially me.
I was trying to use my tablet, and I couldn't get on, but I can get on my phone. I don't know why.
Well,
Brian Magnet didn't give you a release from his show, man? What's up?
Yeah, man. No, I had to sign the contracts.
Get straight to the point, man. Get straight to the point, Steve.
I was listening to Randy tell the story about us playing one-on-one. One thing I wanted to make clear, I don't think any of us are any better or any worse. We could all beat each other at any given day.
Yeah.
Everybody was good, and on any given day, anybody could have scored 20. I wanted people to know how close the talent level was between all of us, because I never beat Jamie Carr one-on-one. And this is the only time, I'll admit it, this is the only time I could never beat Jamie one-on-one in 100 tries.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I was probably the worst one out of all these fellas when I was younger. And I was shorter, and I just didn't have the talent like these guys. It took me a while. I had to put on some height. I didn't put on any weight till I hit 30 years old. But I didn't. My game was probably rebounding. Me and Comanche were more of the rebounders. The other guys were more the shooters. But, everyone hit their stride. But the talent, the thing is, we worked at it. We practiced every day because we wanted to. Practice was kind of fun for us, because we practiced we played ball every day, so practice was really no big deal.
I don't know if Stevie remembers this. Remember freshman year, we like Charlie, Holy Family. We didn't have a gym. We had it was an auditorium / church / bingo hall, whatever you want to call it. And we had a basket that was like nailed onto the wall, and you couldn't even shoot corner jumpers because it was in a semicircle. So we would play 3-on-3 with the upperclassmen and the phys ed teacher, Berry. Mr. Berry was his name?
Doug Berry, yeah.
And we were playing with shirt and tie, dress shoes. We're playing 3-on-3 in a 3-foot court. Remember that?
You couldn't shoot in the corner because it would hit the balcony.
There was no, you could hit the balcony.
Pick up games in the auditorium. That's what it was.
Then we had a bingo after.
In the passing period, we try to squeeze one in all the time. Especially Steve.
Some
I
of
got
the
a funny
best
story
times, man.
about
People
Steve
don't know.
Lopes,
We
man, my
didn't
man.
have much at Holy Family, but we made the most out of what we had.
Yeah, I agree.
So Charlie, check this out.
Hey,
Since we're talking about Holy Family, I think it was sophomore year.
Go ahead.
We were reading, Sister Eugenia was reading some book, right? And it had the N-word in it. So I was kind of offended because I'm saying, man, here I am in a Catholic church and the nun is reading the N-word like it's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I say, Steve, we should do something, man. We should protest, man. I said, tomorrow, I know on page so-and-so, they're going to say the N-word. We're going to get up and we're going to protest, Black Lives Matter. We're going to walk out. And he goes, yeah. So I'm like, all right, bet. We go to school and I'm in the classroom. I'm shaking because I know it's coming. I see the N-word at the bottom of the page. Sister Eugenia's reading, and I said, it's coming. So my boy Steve's behind me. I'm like, bet. She says the N-word. I get up and walk out, thinking Steve's behind me, right? This dude said he fell asleep.
I was always asleep in class.
So I walk out by myself in protest, look behind me, and I'm like, the only one. And I said, man, Steve, you let me down, bro.
Wow.
Remember that,
man,
Mo?
Steve.
I definitely remember because it was To Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah. Yep.
Whatever.
The name of the book was To Kill a Mockingbird.
So
That was funny. That was a funny day.
Well, what I
So,
remember about high school too, a good memory is we were tight. We had our differences here and there, but we were tight. We kind of were like a family. Like every time someone had a house party, the whole school was there.
Oh,
Every Friday night basketball games, we had a party. The cheerleaders, the players, we did this. And I believe this, whether it's little league or to the pros, teams that hang out together, you're gonna play better. You really are. You're gonna play better, and we really enjoyed hanging out together. So I think that carried on into our play on the court. Yeah, we really were.
Tony Spencer had the best house parties, man.
Yeah, we
I've been to a few of them.
Hey, do you guys? I know Don because he was a year ahead of us. But when we clinched our senior year, my parents said that I could host a celebration party. But if we come home crying, she ain't buying. I think that was all the motivation we needed. What? We got somebody to buy us liquor? And remember, we had to beat Dyke Rehoboth, man. We had to win like our last 4 games, and we pulled it out.
I remember one time I had a party. It was a Friday night, I believe, and we had a practice at the CYO on a Saturday. I don't know if you guys remember. And I had a foul shot, and you guys are lined up. I'm going to shoot foul shots, and by the second foul shot, I had to take a break and go to the bathroom because it just wasn't feeling good. My stomach was not. I remember Coach Sylvia coming up to me and saying, "Hey, you get practice next day. You get slow down with your party." So that's probably our last Friday night party before practice. You know what I mean? But we had a lot of fun.
Ba-boom, ba-boom.
Me and Harmless won. We had a good time together. We really did.
Blast.
So individually, how did you all feel about Steve Rhodes making Buddy Thomas's top 50? How'd you feel about it? Proud moment.
100%. I agree 100% on that. That's a no.
I was happy for Rhodes. He deserved that. He definitely deserved it. He was one of the top players during his time.
And Charlie, to be honest with you, playing with Stevie, you have to remember, man, Stevie was like 5'10", and he wasn't really a guard. He was like a forward slash, but he could get to his spots. He could hit the mid-range. He kind of reminds me of Chris Middleton a little bit. In terms of getting to his spots, being kind of in that awkward height. He played bigger than 5'10". I mean, he was probably one of our best rebounders. He was a guy who could score inside, outside. We didn't have a 3-point line back then, but Stevie worked hard, man. And I tell you, he got the most out of his talent in high school, and it was kind of underrated. So definitely good that he got appreciated by Buddy Thomas. And
So I agree. I think Steve really improved. I played one-on-one with Steve probably every day in the boys' club for years. And we were kind of evenly matched, I think, but he had a little bit of edge. But then by sophomore year, he was clearly way above the rest of us. He just excelled. He had that high release, and he could jump really high. So he wasn't – I don't remember him being blocked when he was used to shoot in high school. He had that high release, and he could hang. He had hang time too. So, I mean, he was tough to cover. After that, I didn't play a one-on-one after that. After sophomore year.
But the funny thing was, everybody plays a role, and when we learned each other, we could go any 5 in the city, whether we were the small school, the big school. Many nights down Monty's Park, we held our own. Summer leagues, we actually beat New Bedford High in summer league, but we knew that Jamie was our floor general. Randy was a playmaker, combination shoot guard. Comanche can do a little bit of everything. Tony can do a little bit of everything. The only reason why I got a little bit more pump is because the coach decided to run the offense through. If he ran the offense through any one of these guys, they were all quite capable of doing the same thing. I just love to play. So fortunate that I got to play with these guys. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't go nothing against New Bedford High. I would do it all over again with these guys.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
The only thing that I would change, and it's not enough, is I wish Mickey could have been our head coach because he knew basketball more, and he had us ready to run through walls, and he was a good in-game adjust and everything like that. But he was a basketball coach, and he was a former player. We could believe him. The coach we had never played basketball himself, but he tried to learn it. It was a little different. Not a knock on him, but if Mickey was our head coach, I think we would have done some big damage, throughout all our years, not just our senior year.
I think there was talent on that roster my junior and senior year. Like I said, it didn't produce a lot of wins. But like you said, if Mickey was the head coach, I think Mickey would have got most of
He
the
would have utilized it.
There would have been more wins. And
Definitely.
probably a state tournament bid too. Who knows?
Yeah, because
But a lot of us at times weren't on the floor at the same time too.
yeah.
Maybe it would be Lopes, Jamie, me, or whatever, Comanche, Tony. But at times we were all on the floor at the same time. Some of us would get spot minutes here and there, depending on the matchups. But there was talent there. If it was utilized, I think there would have been more wins.
Let's not forget we had Marky
State title.
Cathcart there too, who did real well.
State title bid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Marky Cathcart, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. We had a lot of people that people underestimated.
Yeah.
And we did our thing in basketball, but people like Tony and Cathcart, they were good in every sport. They played soccer, they played basketball, they played baseball, and they excelled in everything.
Yeah.
Thing was
I don't know so
basketball.
much about. I don't know so much about the soccer part, but you know what I'm saying. Thank you, but
Well,
I mean,
you guys all played every sport where we predominantly played basketball. We
Well,
lived it.
you remember this, Steve? But I remember one year when they made us all play soccer.
Yeah, my senior year.
We didn't have that many boys in the school, so they forced some of us basketball players to play soccer.
I had to play goalie.
Yeah, you were goalie, did pretty good, and just so we get wind up, for basketball season. And I don't think we won a game in 2 years in soccer, but when we
Man.
for basketball, we were ready to run.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
guys,
Tony, I
Always
got something for you.
Always
It was one game.
wins.
It was one
Go ahead,
game.
Randy.
You were like one strike, one out away from a no hitter. I forgot who we were playing, and I was playing second base.
I remember
And,
that game because Mickey was standing right behind the
Yeah.
backstop, and he was
Yeah.
watching. That
Yeah.
was one hitter born.
That's what it was. And we all huddled up at the mound, like do whatever we can to get Tony his no hitter. So, like I said, one out, one strike away from a no hitter.
Yeah,
The ball hits the ball up the middle. Me and Alex dived. The ball hits the second base bag, and that spoils your no hitter.
I remember that because Coach Gonzalez was right in the backstop. He was cheering me on. You know what I mean? Like he was my basketball coach. He was there watching me play and cheering me on for a no hitter. And once I lost the bid, I could see him. He's like he probably felt as bad as I did. He put his head down, but he said, "Hey, keep your head up, man. It's still a one hitter is a one hitter." You know what I mean? I remember that, Randy.
Alex was like, "Yo, do whatever you can to get him his no hitter. Die for anything." And we happened to do that. And I remember the ball hit the bag, like I said.
Yeah.
I got all scratched up from that gravel, that dirt.
Appreciate you trying, though.
I tried. I wanted you to get that no hitter. Kind of messed myself up doing it
I
too.
remember.
And it was all worth it though.
But see, that proves the tightness of the whole unit.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted everybody to exceed. I don't care if it was a checkers game. You went, you supported your fellow teammate in whatever sport, and you cheered hard just like you were on the team, man.
Yeah, there was never any jealousy in this game. It's kind of real that you're playing a team that you excel, and there was no animosity, no jealousy. I mean, we just couldn't wait forward to the party after the game because we were just happy that we had a good team. We knew we were going to win.
Yeah.
Whether Steve was scoring most of the points or Mark, it didn't matter. We just wanted to win, and we won most of the time. That was the end game.
Charlie, I have a question for these guys. Who's the toughest guy you faced in high school?
Mike Barrows, old Rochester.
Yeah.
Because he was so tall.
Well, Mike
He
was
was like
calling
6'7".
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he affected the game on defense. You couldn't drive the lane because he could move, he could jump, he could run. He was strong as hell. Like, we didn't play against 6'7" mobile dude.
I'd say, Mike Barrows and Bobby Duat.
Yeah.
Oh, Bobby Duai put out New Bedford High, yeah.
Remember we played him in a tournament.
Yeah, we played him in
Jamboree.
Jamboree at Durham.
Jamboree.
that was kind of rare for Holy Family to play Division I team back then in Big Three. Just for us to be asked to play, that was an honor for us, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The crazy thing about that game is all of us were used to playing against all of them from our boys club days, so we weren't scared.
No.
But the kids from a Christian at Fairhaven, they never played Barbie Buddy. I said, yo, they're great, but they're just human beings, man. How are you afraid to play basketball? It's just a fun game. But they didn't understand. We played against them guys every day, so it was just like going to the boys club.
Right, we held our own. We lost, but we held our own, and you know,
they were really talented.
I think we only lost by about 5 points.
It was close. It was close to
maybe the first quarter, but remember we all didn't play. We probably only played the first quarter because that their second string was just as good as their first string, so their second string was blowing out.
I mean, there was mutual respect for both sides, man. They know what we can do. We know what they could do. So
I know Randy and Jamie and Comanche know when we played summer league because Tony always played baseball in the summer.
Right.
We were still playing indoors at the rec. Remember? We had Russell Whitman on our team.
Right.
We beat Scarfonia and them team. We beat them out in the regular season. We lost the ball. We blew out Buddy Wheatley last second. We should have won. I can't remember what caused it, but Randy will remember because he remembers everything. But
I remember we had a big game. We should have beat them. You had a big game. Rusty even had a big game. Rusty Hellman had a big game.
Yeah, Rusty played I think was your cousin Eric playing with us then?
No, Eric wasn't playing. I think Eric was playing. But I didn't play enough game. Yeah. I think that if I played well enough, I think if we probably got it was a hump. Because like I said, Lopes, you had a great game. Rusty had a great game. Jamie had a great floor game. Comanche was up there rebounding, banging with Bobby Dwight and the rest of them.
But we weren't scared of them because they were.
That's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
So, you guys, I mean, you all come from before you even reach the quarter at Holy Family. You have the boys club. But the one thing I see out of this crew right here is you guys had tremendous families with competitive people in each and every one of your families. So before you got into the court at Holy Family, you had strong competition just within your families, between your cousins and so on and so forth. So I and another thing I want to note, I notice here is with all of you, you're very unselfish ball players. So putting you all together, it was probably going to be a great mix, in my opinion. And I had some, I had good friendships with all of you, and I just want to commend all of you for going through that cycle, whether you decided to go to Holy Family or not. That school, I'm glad it had you guys going there because there wasn't a lot of diversity years prior to you guys. So when you go there, you kind of added to the numbers, so on and so forth, and it's good, So I
appreciate it. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous when I first went, and I knew Jamie was going the same year as me. The funny thing was Tony and Comanche went all through grammar school, and then Comanche stayed. Tony went to New Bedford High. Me and Jamie went the same year. I thought it was going to be so different. After the first week, I felt like I'd been there my whole life. The student body, the teachers, Father Driscoll, Mickey, we had great role models there. And they made us feel comfortable, even though there wasn't many minorities there. We didn't know a lot of the other kids there. By the end of that first week, it was like we were so accepted. It was family not only among the basketball players, but family among the whole school.
I agree.
When I got there, I didn't know what to expect. I know that it was a much smaller school compared to New Bedford High and the student body and all that. There was one teacher who kind of who was skeptical about me, Mr. Kruger. And, he had asked Manny Tidable Andrews, because Manny was our summer league coach one year, and that was my first year joining Holy Family. And I guess he came up to Tidable and asked him one day, "How's this kid? Is he a troublemaker? We have to keep an eye on him." And the funny thing is, he came to liken to me, Mr. Kruger.
Once he got to know you as a person.
Yes, right. And he didn't know that at first. Until he knew me as a person, as a student. He took a liking to me. And another story I want to bring up too. We were playing against Dennis Yarmouth. And I guess they had bus problems. So they didn't make it to the CYO. The game ended up being canceled, but because we were all there, if you guys can remember, there was a scrimmage. It was the JVs against the varsity players, if you guys remember that. And I ended up playing on the JV team. I was pretty upset. And I was telling Mr. Kruger, why am I playing on the JV team? He goes, I just want to prove a point because at the time I wasn't getting no playing time. And he goes, I just want to prove a point, Randy. I'm going to have you play on the JV team. And, it was a battle. And the JV team almost beat the varsity team that night. I know it was just a scrimmage, but we had real referees refereeing that game. And, it was almost an upset. And after the game, Kruger was like, this is why I wanted you to play on the JV team to prove a point that you should be getting more minutes during my junior year. So, and I proved Coach Silver wrong there. He should have played me more. Like I said, he had his thing. There was games I had some decent games, and there were some games I struggled. So because of the games I struggled, he would bench me. I'll play spot minutes here and there. And I was kind of getting frustrated, but I kind of hung on, But there was motivation behind that too. I got to prove this guy wrong that I belong out there. I need to play. And I got my opportunity more my senior year. So
you didn't get your opportunity soon enough. I think the only struggles you had was you were nervous that if you made a mistake, it was going to be 10 times worse than somebody else because you had to prove yourself twice as much as some of the other guys,
Right.
When like I said, the talent level between all of us is so very minimal. It's just who gets put in the right situation to do the most things. And if they put you in that position, you would have very easily carried your weight, no problem. And it took for Mr. Kruger to come up with that idea for the rest of the coaching staff to say, Randy should be a more important part of the team.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah. Because the following game after that, we played against Bishop Stang. I came off the bench and had a big game. Had 17 against them. So, like I said, Mr. Kruger had something in mind for me to prove that I belong out there and I should be playing. So, that strategy worked out.
I think there was another reason that nobody wants to talk about, but I'm going to bring it up and everybody can chime in. There wasn't a lot of minorities playing at Holy Family, but most of them made up the basketball team. And I remember freshman year, Coach Gonzalez pulling me aside saying, I can only start Jamie at the point guard. I can't start too many of you guys at the same time because it won't look good. And there's a lot of people's parents that, they're big boosters and stuff like that. And I was like, it's all right, whatever. We still played a lot. But there was other reasons why certain ones didn't play. Because it would have looked weird to have like a handful of minorities, but they were the whole basketball team. And don't get me wrong, we had other guys on the team that were really, really good. But the guys pictured right here should have been the core of the team, and everybody else would have been the support.
That's that politics.
Yeah,
back then the politics.
We couldn't control that,
Right.
Hey, I just want to, if you can see the comment below, it's from Rob Mendes. Great bunch of guys who play the game the right way. I mean, that's a huge compliment.
Hey, Rob was a big influence in all of us at the Boys Club days. He made us the best we could be. Never slacked off on us. And we were ready, buddy. We were in good hands going from Robbie to Mickey. We had two great mentors, in my opinion. Going from one to the other.
People don't realize how important the Boys Club, the Boys and Girls Club now, but was to us because that was our home away from home. I spent all my time after school.
Oh, yeah.
We played everything. I played floor hockey. I don't know anything about hockey. We played soccer. We just played sports all day long, and it was fun. And that was our second home. And it probably kept us a lot of people out of trouble, including myself. Probably kept me out of a lot of mischief, a place to go and play. So places like that are really important. People don't understand that how important Rob Mendes and the Boys Club was to us and our lives. You know what I mean? It was a big part of my life.
That was a great point. Great point.
And the talent we played against at the Boys Club got us ready because we were playing at a different level against that type of talent every day. And the talent wasn't quite as fast, or the kids didn't jump quite as high when we got to the level at Holy Family. But we were so used to playing on a higher level that Holy Family kind of seemed a lot easier to us.
Oh yeah, because the game seemed so much slower. Whether we was at the Boys Club or if we were at Monty's Park or wherever that we played in, we always played with the older guy. And it was always the older guy who always would school us on how to play the game the right way.
100%.
So, Charlie, I got a funny story. You guys remember this, right? When we were at Holy Family, you guys remember there was kind of a dispute was who was going to be the next New Bedford High basketball coach, and a couple of guys were thinking of transferring to Holy Family.
Oh,
Right? I think
a
it was
number
Ricky
of guys.
Nobre
Oh yeah.
and a couple of people. Yeah, we're gonna go to Holy Family if Robbie Mendes doesn't coach. I'm not sure if they wanted Robbie
Ronnie
Mendes
Lomba.
or
Ronnie
Ronnie
Lomba.
Lomba.
Ronnie Lomba.
And I was saying to myself, ain't this a? I go to Holy Family. Are these guys gonna come to Holy Family?
Right.
I'm going to the
We
Bethel
got away
High then.
from them so we could shine, and now they're going to come
You remember
find
that,
us
Slick?
anyway.
Right.
Hey, people don't know. Flea was close to coming. Terry Wynn. Terry was always somebody I wanted to come to Holy
Charlie
Family.
Silver,
I felt like his game would have fit in. Boogie, Comanche's cousin Boogie.
Yep.
He was ready to come. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, they just couldn't pull the trigger because, you know, it was hard to leave New Bedford High. But they all thought about coming because they saw what we were doing there and they wanted to be a part of it. And that made us all feel good. You know, we went there, the team wasn't winning. We got them back on track, and now the guys we admired at New Bedford High wanted to come join us. We look up in the game, at any given game, I see Todd DeReese, Ollie Martin, Bobby Duarte, Buddy Wheatley. I see all these guys at our games at Holy Family.
You got to realize this. I don't know if you guys remember this, but walking the halls of Holy Family, we see all the trophies and all the basketball side, and you know we'd read the yearbooks. And I mean, Holy Family was a storied franchise for basketball. I mean, going back to the Garden and winning the Tech tournament. So we used to always fantasize someday that we wanted to play in the Garden or we wanted to go to state. So that was our goal for years. And finally, we got that chance. We played at the Garden, then we got to play in the States. And for a small Division III school, that was rare. So we were really happy to bring back that tradition after all these years. That was a goal that was new for us, and we were really happy and proud about that.
Shoot, when Mickey was playing high school, I used to go watch his games. Dave Lato, all those guys were tremendous players, and they used to win not only the Catholic tournament but the public tournament. And Mr. Kruger used to let us know about it all the time. Point to the championship. When you guys get some of those, you can say something. But they had some great teams.
Yeah, the Jack LaBriga years, they were they were the best around.
Yep.
Nice to kind of bring that winning flavor back to the school. It was a good feeling to be a part of that. That's one of my biggest memories, to be part of that winning tradition again.
I don't know if you guys remember, Mickey Gonzalez brought was it Peter Ribeiro to practice one day? You guys remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yo, Peter was like Dame Lillard. He was hitting shots from half court.
Yep. Stronger than us.
He was a beat. He was just unbelievable. That was
Jamie, how many times did we have to play Mickey one-on-one and we never got on offense? If Mickey got the ball, it was all over. He would just Mickey on him. He wasn't faster than us. He couldn't jump higher than us. We'd all take our turns, and Mickey would sit us down one by one and laugh at us while he was doing it.
Hey, you remember we used to hang out at Mickey's house on a weekend or something like that? You know, we had a few beers. Then we're talking all kind of trash with basketball and all that. So we're like, you know what? Let's go to the park right now. Let's go to the park right now. I'll go play some ball. Play 5-on-5, 1-on-1, or game of
2 in the morning,
like
drunk.
Drunk as anything. Mickey was kicking our butts, man. Mickey be kicking our butts.
Yo, Mickey was the best shooter I've ever seen in my life, man. Like he only needed an inch. I couldn't understand, like, yo, I'm right in his shirt and he's shooting like I'm invisible. Like, so frustrating. I've never been so frustrated trying to catch somebody that's trying to play Mickey in practice or in pop ball. Like, what an incredible talent and a better human being.
Mickey was a pure shooter. He made it look easy. You know?
Sonny Silver played one year. Sonny Silver played one year with Mickey at Framingham State. And Sonny still this day will say Mickey is the best shooter he's ever played with or ever saw.
Yeah.
Best shooter.
No doubt.
Sonny still says that till this day.
I remember there was games Mickey said there was no 3-point line. Imagine if there was. His range was half court in. And he said it had to be like at least once a game he got called for being out of bounds because he was so far in the corner. He was actually out of bounds shooting and hitting him. He was getting called for being out of bounds. Back then, oh my God.
I just want to say something like Stevie. A couple weeks ago, when you were on your Straight to the Point, you interviewed Stephen Cooper.
Oh yeah, from Wareham. Yep.
And you brought up a good point. When we were younger, you know, we didn't have like a lot of the information regarding nutrition, training, conditioning as these kids today have. You know, Stevie, if you remember, me and Stevie used to jog from Kempton Street to SMU.
Yeah, we used to play ball and jog home from SMU.
And then go to, they had a little rinky-dink Nautilus set in the corner of the back gym. Remember that, Stevie?
Yep.
and we would go lift, but we didn't know how to condition, how to train.
We had
how
to teach ourselves. We didn't even know what we were doing.
These guys have so much access to Google and YouTube to better condition, better train. We just went on our own, just trying to figure it out. So I think that was a big thing. I wish we could have, me personally, had more knowledge about like nutrition, health, training, conditioning, and none of it was just at that time. It wasn't something that was publicized.
Stuff like Marcus Wills and Brian Rudolph Jr. right now, they constantly have training schools and camps where they're training people to get to the next level, showing you how to train, showing you how to practice. We just did it all naturally. Whatever we learned by watching everybody else, that's all we had.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fun. I won't trade those days for nothing, man.
Nah, it was the best.
Yeah, when I interviewed Mike Herron was talking about pretty much the same thing, you know, and there's so many AAU teams. Even a couple of years that I was coaching at AAU, there's so much competition, and if you didn't get the kid at the right time, man, you're gonna lose a good kid, you know, and sometimes money talks or sneakers talk or gear talks, you know, and it's I think out of our age group, all we needed was a basketball and go play wherever, you know. I'm pretty sure you guys are doing the same thing I was doing, you know. I didn't have any problem leaving the South End to go play at Evergreen, go play up there, you know, go play wherever I had to.
Buttonwood Park, Hazelwood Park.
Yeah,
we rode our bikes for Summer League because none of us had cars. We rode to Hazelwood, Brooklawn, wherever the game was. You see like 7 of us riding our bikes all the city to go play.
That's when Summer League was real fun, when you go to those different parks and play nightly basis. Those were fun, yeah.
That was a blast.
Hey, did any of you suffer a concussion going down Potter Street in the boys' club van?
I suffered a concussion running from Bucky Beach.
Hey, Jamie, Bay State for the boys and girls club. We play for the Robbie. On our way home to the boys' club, you always go down Potter Street. Well,
you hit the van?
Robbie used to always drive that van.
Robbie did it on purpose.
Yeah.
It was a roller coaster.
Yep, that's what it was. It felt like a roller coaster, man.
But we look forward to that, though.
Yeah.
We look forward to that.
Robbie take that same route back to the boys' club, go down Potter Street. Here we go, roller coaster time.
Fun times, man.
And then I think the other time was we'd all want to get our rocks off, so we'd go be dunking on the little cadet basket, and Mr. Vincent would come out of nowhere with the wiffle ball bat. We probably
But guys, how about playing in the Garden, man? Was that great? I think all of us were at that game. That was a great experience, man. Playing in the Boston Garden.
It was nice.
My biggest memory, I don't know if you guys remember, was MLK. I think he was rehabbing.
Yep.
He was when we were warming up for the game, he was shooting with us.
Yep.
And I don't think he missed one shot. And he was still I forget what kind of injury he had, but he was rehabbing and he didn't miss a shot, even from 3-point land. And to me, it was a big thrill just having him shooting around with us. And I remember I felt like a kid in the candy store. I was touching the parquet floor, I was touching the glass, touching the rims, and I don't know if
awesome.
you guys too. Kevin McHale was there watching us play.
Yeah.
He was there with his soon-to-be wife, who was his girlfriend. We married, and he sat down and watched us play for a while. That's my biggest memories I get out of that.
You know what was incredible about the Garden? The aura of playing there. But you guys remember how many dead spots there were on the floor?
Oh, it was terrible.
Yo, you'd be the ball would come back up. You'd be like, what the hell?
I was surprised the lot was terrible, too.
I don't think we care if we won or not, man. We're just playing at the Garden, man. That was the fun part of it. Whether we won or lost, I don't think we cared. We were playing
I remember
Garden,
I had to go against Paul Gomes, and I was 170 pounds, and Paul was tearing it up.
Paul was beating us.
And he killed me, man. He killed me, man.
He's on our Facebook page. You'll probably see this.
Oh, yeah.
I remember I think it was my junior year, Tony. I think you were injured one year. You missed a couple of games.
Broke your hand?
I tendons in my ankle.
Yeah. And I had to play center against Mike Barrows.
Yeah.
Dude had the full beard. He had the Tom Selleck hair going.
I thought he was a coach when we first saw him.
I think he was collecting a pension too, man. He was a man. There was no. I said, what am I doing with this dude?
He was the Shaquille O'Neal days of that time, man. He was a Shaq of that time.
He was like Mark Reeves too.
Yeah.
Remember that? Mark
Mark
Reeves
was
was
nice.
really good too. He moved from Chicago.
Mhm.
I was like, they had a squad back then with Mike Barrows and Mark Reeves.
Mike
I
Barrows
was mad at Tony Spencer for a while, man.
He was
I
the only
mad
guy
at
I
Tony.
think I was really intimidated to play center against. I mean, he was really that big of a player. You know, he was dynamic. He was really strong.
Yep. And
He was a man,
athletic.
man.
A lot of
He
big
was a-
guys weren't athletic like him, but he could run, he could jump. It was like, well, you don't have no weaknesses.
Not at all. Not at all.
Toughest kid I played though wasn't even in a game. Stevie, you probably remember this. We scrimmaged Bishop Conley at CYO. Do you remember
Brian O'Neill, when he played for
that?
Bishop
Brian
Conley.
O'Neill was a freshman.
Yes. Then he
I was
transferred
a
to
sophomore,
Durfee.
and I'm like, who's this chubby white kid, man? Like, I said, yeah, I'm gonna tear him up. This kid,
Yes. He was
Legit.
unbelievable, man.
Brian O'Neill, man. I was like, he's the best kid. He wasn't in the game; it was a scrimmage. I said, wow, that's how you won the point.
What
Of course,
year?
he went on to Durfee and Stonehill.
Stonehill, yeah, he went to Stonehill.
He was
When
my
I was in
toughest.
college, I got to play against him, Bobby Duarte, and Mike Barrows on the same team.
Stonehill.
Actually, hey, you know what? I think that's the same year that Bishop Conley beat the high school. I think by 2 points, 2 or 4
I wouldn't
points.
doubt it. And Brian O'Neill was younger than us. He was a year or two behind us, and he was killing us.
Oh, he killed me. Forget it. It wasn't even close. I didn't want to play anymore.
He was like a mini Larry Bird. His game reminded me of Kevin Kolick at UMass Dartmouth. Like they were so similar, but you couldn't do nothing with them. They were so smart. They were so under control. They were good at everything.
Hey,
He was awesome.
it's a little. I can't see it, but I got a picture of Jamie. What you were talking about with Mike. I got a picture of him.
In high school?
Yeah. Wait, I'm gonna try to bring it up for you.
I'm telling you,
It's going to look like somebody's father was at the game watching his kid play.
I'm gonna try to bring it up here. Hold on.
Oh
But
man.
you all just keep talking, man. But
Nancy and Randy, Tony, who do you guys remember as being tough guys to play against?
I think it was it Joe Duchesne from Stang?
Duchesne was tough.
Joe Duchesne from Stang. We had some battles.
Shooter.
Yeah, he was a good all-around player.
For me, it was John Mackey, Mayor Mackey's son at the time.
Yep.
Yeah,
He was in
he
the
was
backcourt
tough.
with Joey Duchesne.
Yeah, he was tough.
yeah.
Yeah, he was my tough opponent.
Mike Croto at Dartmouth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He could jump. I used to be like, yo, where did this dude learn how to jump? He could dunk and everything. That was weird to see somebody from Dartmouth that could get up like that.
Teddy Lacerda dropped 39 on me one game.
Who?
Teddy Lacerda. For
Oh,
Haven.
for Haven.
He was a good ball player.
He dropped 39 on me one night, man.
We all
I
ended
saw
up
him at
at
Bridgewater.
Bridgewater
I
together
know.
with him. Yo, a lot of guys we played against. We all get to Bridgewater. We see all the guys we played against. Dave Langlois, Teddy Lacerda.
Good basketball player.
Well, Jamie, do you remember Paul McCann? He went on to play at Boston College.
Yeah.
Played for Clayton Rehoboth.
Oh yeah,
Boy, he was a shooting guy.
nice. He was
Could
nice.
jump out of the gym, could shoot his behind off. Next thing I knew, he's playing at Boston College.
I know. But hey Charlie, one thing I wanted to talk to you about.
yep.
I spoke to you via Facebook, but I did want to say how much I appreciated. A couple of years back when you were doing, posting pictures of the athletes from the past. I want to say that was an incredible thing to have done. It's the best thing on Facebook. I mean, there was no fanfare, there was no self-promotion. You just put the pictures out there. People got a chance to reminisce. Some of the people are no longer with us, unfortunately, but I just wanted to express my appreciation for you doing that. And that was an awesome, you put in some work. I just want to say thank you again for doing that. It brought us all down memory lane, brought back some good memories about some of the players, male and female, that were playing and part of the fraternity of basketball that we all shared. So thank you again for that.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm trying to get it. I'm gonna try to bring it over from my old Facebook page. The problem I have is there were so many pictures that I had. So I
have a question for Steve Lopes, man. Yo, Lopes, I can't remember, but how many points did you have in high school?
We ain't gonna talk about that.
There we go. Somebody was gonna bring it up.
We don't want to bring it up.
I'll let the fellas tell. They all know. I don't even say that number in my personal life. It was like 998.
Yeah, man.
And we were in a state tournament game, and I got taken out, and I was like, "Oh, so goes that." I didn't even care about at that point. After the game, I cared. I was mad that was our last high school game. But when they came in and told us you were one basket short, I couldn't believe it. Said that damn Jamie Carr didn't want to pass, but
Dude, I'm responsible for 900 of your points, bro.
No, I would not play with another point guard over you because you knew what I was going to do before I did. I was like, yo, Jamie knows. Yo, look, just keep moving. When I first started playing with Jamie, no word of a lie, I didn't respect his passing. I got so many passes off my head. They were all on point, but I couldn't understand how he got it through a short space, how he got it to me. I'd run through the middle trying to get to the other side. Halfway through, the ball would hit me in the head all quick. I'd keep my eye on Jamie. Even if he wasn't watching, he knew where I was.
He knew where everybody was.
Yo.
He got us all, man.
Process and I don't think I'm doing it.
That's why I think we had the advantage. We had the advantage because we played all our lives, and especially 3 years of varsity together.
Yeah.
The other teams. Other teams are lucky to play 2 years together. You know, we did 3. So.
Yeah. We had to lick our wounds when we all got called up sophomore year. A lot of seniors graduated, but we got the chance to get used to the game. By the time we were juniors, we were ready. And by the time we were seniors, we were dominant because we had played against all the older guys from sophomore year. But there was, I think that you can't underestimate how close we were on and off the court, and that's what led to our relationship being so good on the court. Because if we weren't on the court together, we were off the court together.
I agree.
Like another funny story. It's all basketball, but I don't know if Tony might remember this story.
Jamie,
a National Guard recruiter came to a Holy Family. Remember that? And we were all like, National Guard came and we were like all pumped up saying, that's a good idea, man. We're going to, So we all said, yeah. I think that Saturday he said, come down, take the ASVAB test, and we'll go from there. And we were all supposed to go down, Charlie. Like 7 or 8 of us said, yeah, we're going to go on Saturday morning, meet the recruiter, and we're going to go for it. So I'm like, bet. Now this is before cell phones, right? So we couldn't call each other. So I'm assuming that they're going to show up, just like Stevie did in that English class. So I get down there in the morning, and I'm by myself. So I'm thinking, these guys are running a little bit late. Bet, no problem. The recruiter calls me and he says, where's your boys? I says, no, they'll be here. They said we're all going to be here, man. No, Charlie, nobody showed up. So I took the ASVAB test, and I felt bad for the dude. I said, well, sign me up. And that's how I ended up going. Remember that, Tony? I said, Tony,
we all were going to sign up. I got nervous at the end because I didn't know about going to college. So I says, maybe go to Army or something like that. And I knew that Jamie was the smartest one in school. He was our valedictorian. He was a smart student. So I said, he's going to score real well. I'm probably going to fail it anyways. They're going to want me to Army. But we ended up taking it. I felt bad, but I kind of chickened out the last second. I don't know what the other guys
You and everybody else, man. I was like, by myself, man. But it was a good choice.
I think that was the morning after one of Tony's house parties.
I'm still recovering from those house parties.
House parties, I'm telling you, that typifies Holy Family was definitely a family. On and off parties and school. We just had a good time. I missed it. I missed everyone. We had a really good time together.
And one thing about that too is there was no like racism, man. We had Vietnamese, we had Cape Verdean, we had Portuguese, we had the whole rainbow of everybody there, and there was never any issue about. I always felt comfortable. I never felt like, oh man, people looking at me or I'm different or whatever. From day one, we were welcome. From the upperclassmen.
There was ever one time when we were in school that there was even a fist fight in that school while we were there.
I don't remember anybody having a fight in the school.
I don't think so. I think everyone got along. I don't remember any altercations at all, which is rare.
No.
Everyone got along pretty good. We were lucky. We were very lucky.
Tony, do you remember that fake fight we staged in the back of the classroom?
I do remember that to this day. I do. That was April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
Teachers were messing with us, and we staged a fake fight, and the teacher started crying.
Yeah.
I remember that. It was way back when
That's right.
I do remember. A lot of good memories.
Oh man.
A lot of good memories. A lot of them we can't talk about right now.
Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They don't even know we were responsible for some of the things that never got figured out.
That's right. You got that right.
Hey,
I remember that time we moved Mr. Big in the middle of the street.
Or the food fight. Remember the food fight?
Oh yeah.
Hey, the school dances. We used to always sneak into school dances.
Oh yeah, man.
You know,
Father
With our little taste,
yeah.
I had my pink champagne.
had my blackberry brandy.
Mad Dog 2020.
Tango. Y'all remember Tango?
Yeah.
And at the school
Got
dances,
the
Father
Boys and
just
Girls
would
Club
be there.
parties.
And I was just gonna be at the school dances, and he would see Jamie pull Jamie over. The rest of us would just like take off, man. Just we didn't want no part of a
Yeah.
conversation, man. We just want to have fun.
Charlie, it might have been a Catholic school. We had more fun than New Bedford High.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
There's,
no doubt,
there's,
no
there's
doubt.
We
no,
couldn't even come close to Holy Family.
no doubt, no doubt.
Oh man.
Hey,
I'm still waiting for Stevie Lopes to pick me up for the prom though in the car.
What, the one I used to steal from my father?
yeah.
That was the oldest car.
I'm still waiting, Lopes.
Then the car had a hole in the floor.
Yep.
Yeah, the car had a hole in the floor.
They had push buttons, not even a stick shift. You had a push for drive, push for reverse.
Red Flintstone car.
That was
Oh,
crazy.
man.
I could see the ground when we were driving it, a hole in the floor. I could see it. I said, oh shit.
Mm-mm-mm.
Hey, all you guys know Greg Simpson.
Yes.
Oh, I
Yeah.
just read his comment.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, he said I gave Brian O'Neill 35 points before I played New Bedford High School for the state title. I didn't think he was that good, and I say that respectfully.
Greg
Well,
did that to everybody.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Greg
Greg
did
did
that
it
to
to everybody.
everybody.
Yeah.
That's not disrespectful. There was a lot of
No.
people that were good, but nobody could stand in front of Greg.
No.
We watched what he did to Todd and Collie at the same
Oh, yeah.
time, and we thought they were two of the best defensive players we ever saw. Greg was a
They were-
supreme talent.
I saw him play at the
Yeah.
New Bedford Rec, and he was in the backcourt of Michael Adams. And Michael
Blackberry
Adams was
Titans.
nice. And I thought he was better than Michael Adams.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, and
He was a tournament down at the New Bedford Rec, and I like this boy can play. Michael Adams was legit. Boston College. I
Yeah.
thought Simpson was better than him.
Well,
Yeah.
if I'm not wrong, Greg, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Greg originally got a scholarship to the University of Iowa when Iowa was really good. I don't think he ever went, but I know he was offered a scholarship.
yeah,
So everybody knew he was big time.
Oh, yeah.
he talked about a couple of weeks that he would. It was when Jay Williams was talking that junk about Celtics only had one black coach. So Greg was saying that he would, he could take Jay Williams out, and I believe he could. I believe he was a better ball player than he was. And you mentioned Adams, but Greg was a baller, man, and I enjoyed watching him.
No doubt.
I want to give Jamie a flashback. 1 second here.
No,
See, look at that. Look at that.
look,
Shaq.
look how much bigger and
Back in
muscular he is than
1982.
everybody else.
Oh.
And
Is that David Langley's behind him?
I'm trying to think of who that is in the back, man. I can't. The face looks familiar.
Now, it looks like Dave Langlays with his arm in front of him.
Yeah, it does.
That's
Damn, look at that.
But Mike's like 6'7", all
That's what I'm
muscular.
talking about, man.
6'7". I played softball. Yeah, he's 6'7", strong, still
Big
strong.
boy.
Yeah.
The crazy part is we remember how big and strong he was. Don't forget about running into a pick and not knowing he said it. It would rattle every bone in your body.
Yeah.
He was a beast.
Yeah. So.
Paul Gomes was tough too, man.
Oh, yeah.
Paul
Always
He
was
tough.
was so
another one.
strong, man.
Up on him, forget it. He was real strong underneath.
He always reminds me of how much he dominated me personally or playing against him when he played. He was a big, strong guy, but his whole family was talented, man. He couldn't help but be good. His father, his uncles, they were all big-time players.
He kept that gold tradition going, though. He definitely
Oh,
did.
yeah.
Mhm.
He likes to, he'll jump on Facebook once in a while and go, remember when I did this to you guys? Remember? Whether it was West End Pop, whether it was Holy Family Vote, Paul was a problem everywhere, man. But always good-natured. Always good-natured.
We always talk about the Garden, and
Yep, because he was playing for both guys.
he really, he really did a good job and all that. We always rib each other about it, but he really was one of the best players back then.
Yeah, I can't. I try to get him on the
Appreciate that
podcast,
comment,
but
Greg.
yeah, we appreciate you, Greg.
We appreciate you, Smooth.
We didn't like you at the time because you were dominating New Bedford High our junior year. Like, we had to respect it. And I played against your forwards in college when they played for UMass Boston. Everybody on your team was a talent, but you were just a notch above everybody. That was an impressive squad. Roscoe Patterson and
Roscoe was
Andre Tippett or Anthony Tippett.
Nippy Hall.
Bookend forwards.
And people got to remember, like Randy and Stevie went to Bridgewater. I mean, Al Howard was playing with them, right? Like, Mark Dias was playing with them. You guys are going to the state tournament. I mean, not the state tournament. You guys had some
Tony
talent.
Tony DePeter and Al Howard, Mark Dias.
Yeah,
that was a squad, man. It was fun to watch.
Eddie Montero was there too, yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually down for the summer, man. He said he can't wait to see Randy. I don't think he's on Facebook, but he was like, Randy's going to be on.
Hey, this is all new to me, man. So
but a lot of people ask about you because they don't see you on Facebook. I'm like,
I don't have a Facebook account. My wife's the one that kind of keeps me involved with everything, and she has an account. So, when she talks to me or whatever, she lets me know when I'm communicating with her.
I'm the same way,
Randy right now.
This is all new. Man. This is all new to me.
I hear that. I'm with you, Randy, on that.
Tony had his IT guy when I called him.
I had to call my IT guy there.
I didn't know we couldn't sign in until Charlie opened the room. I was like, sign in like 10 up. Nobody could sign in. I'm trying to get everybody to sign in, and then I'm the only one that couldn't sign in.
Yo, I'm feeling bad, Charlie. Look at Comanche. It looks like he hasn't aged since high school, man.
Right?
He looks exactly the same since high school, bro. And you're a grandfather. You're a grandfather, bro. You don't want to see the ball off
himself, man. You know,
it ain't easy. Like I said, I'm trying to keep up with Charlie.
Think about Comanche, man. I thought he was underappreciated, because Comanche could play. He was one of my favorite players to play with. I think he got better after high school. I think he put on some more pounds and he got better. But Comanche, I tell you, I think he was underutilized at Holy Family because Comanche could ball.
It's the same thing with Randy that we talked about earlier. Like, the coaches wouldn't put them in position to really show their talents, and we couldn't control that. No. And it was frustrating. It was frustrating because we knew we could have been better. But if the coaches didn't allow that to happen, we were limited.
Yeah.
Like Jamie was saying earlier, if like me and Comanche had a lot in common, we were both tall and thin. We were real thin. Yeah. We go to Mike Barrows and Paul Gomes. If we had a conditioning program back then, put on 20 pounds of muscle, whatever, we could probably, God knows what we could have done. You know what I mean? Because we were battling, but we were really thin guys. So we were out-muscled by a lot of these other guys. So I wish we had a program going. That's the only thing I wish we had. Like Jamie said. Just so we could bulk up, me and Comanche bulk up. We tried our best, though, Comanche.
Yeah, we did.
I wish we would have had a true big man because you guys were more athletic to play forward and power forward, but because of your height, you had to play the big man because you were the biggest guys we had. But if you guys get to play forward, like small forward and power forward, the way you guys could run the court and stuff, we had to throw you down low against the Mike Barrows and them because we didn't have nobody over 6 feet on the whole team.
I think what would have helped us though, that I remember going back was the offense that we ran was very mechanical.
And the other teams could predict it.
When we played with Mickey in our freshman year, it was always a flow. It was always game flow, and we could always adjust to it. Once we got up to the upper level, it was always stop ball. They didn't want us to break. They didn't want us to run, and that took a lot of the natural flow of the game where we excel at, because we're all smart ball players.
Yeah.
We're all unselfish. I mean, all of us can handle the rock. We all can pass. I mean, Stevie could pass too, but he had another job. But hey, we were all well-rounded. And if we had that type of offense where it was just flow, who knows how far we would have gone.
I agree with you, Comanche, because when I left New Bedford High for Eddie Rodrigues, all we did was fast break.
Yes.
All we did was run Virginia sprints in practice. We were fast, and we had a good win. we would just press and press and press.
Mhm.
I agree with Commissioner. I wish we did that a little bit more because we had the talent, we had the wind in us. We didn't really push it more. I wish we did. So I agree with you 100% on that.
And we had the speed.
Yep. And we had other talented players, but I think our coach just relied on 5 or 6 guys all the time. We could have ran hard. He could have put in other guys, and they could have kept it going, and everybody could have shined. But I think our coach was very scared to play a deep roster. Like he limited us. If he would have trusted our players more, he would have found out everybody could have done a lot more.
Definitely.
I see Eric Gomes chiming in, Randy's cousin.
Mhm.
He played with us. He thought about coming, but he got cold feet. That would have been a whole other animal if he would have came.
We were pushing for him to go to Holy Family, man. Just like you said, he had cold feet.
Yep.
At the last moment, decided to stay where he really is at.
He never made it final.
Yeah.
Gotta pull the trigger, Eric. Gotta pull the trigger, man.
Yeah, I was with him this weekend. He's like one of his biggest regrets, man. Coming to Holy Family, not just because of basketball. We all had to get on top of our education. When I was talking to Tony the other day, and New Bedford High had a better baseball program. He went there first, but he said after the first semester, his mother saw the report cards. He said him and his dad were up there the next day cleaning out his locker. Back to Holy Family because our grades were all way better, except Jamie.
Right.
Jamie was brilliant in the classroom everywhere. I think he's one of the most brilliant minds I've ever met. Like, I used to never think he was paying attention, never took notes. He would just sit there and have a conversation, and the rest of us would be lost, and then he'd spit the whole conversation back.
Jamie could have actually taught us. He could have been up there and been a teacher.
Oh, yeah.
He had no notes on his paper. I said, I can't copy his notes. He didn't take no notes.
In college, man, he'll take a test with a hangover and ace it.
I had no choice.
But
Writing papers.
Yeah.
Jamie was a problem in the classroom. We got stuck. What they talking? What they mean about the philosophy of Plato and Socrates? Yeah. I still remember Jamie in college, freshman year. We were in a philosophy class, 30 kids. 29 of us were confused. The teacher and Jamie having a one-on-one conversation about Plato and Socrates and all of these $100 words. We're all looking around like they're talking French. And Jamie's like, in other words, you mean the underlying theme behind Plato's. What the hell? How do you know this stuff?
You guys are funny, man.
I
remember Stevie would come in, man, like with the tank tops, showing the guns. Remember that, Stevie? We would call him Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The bathroom. When we were trying to work out, we didn't even know what we were doing. So
ask a question like, I have a question.
Athlete.
Yeah, Stevie, you got the guns. We knew you had the guns.
Oh, the water guns.
I remember when Tony came to Bridgewater one night. Remember that, Tony? You came to party with us?
I used to go there on Thursdays.
Yeah.
And his sister went there all 4 years with us. Teresa was there with us the whole time.
Yeah. I just went there to hang out. School didn't work out for me. I took another route, but it all worked out in the long run.
It sure did, man.
Exactly,
you had a great career, man.
And
it worked out
on your retirement.
like everyone finds their route, you know what I mean, and finds their goals and whatever.
Yeah.
But I think we all made out all right. You know what I mean? I think all the parents are proud of us. I think we did okay.
And I think back then we put so much emphasis on sports. I truly believe, knowing what I know now, that I went to Bridgewater because I knew Randy was there and a bunch of other guys we knew were there, and it felt like it was going to be an easy transition, and we figured we could play there. I wouldn't even worry about playing ball now because when ESPN came out, I would have went to like Syracuse or one of them schools that had a great communication program, and I would have tried to be a sportscaster because I can't think about getting paid to talk about sports the way these guys are getting paid. Stephen A. $20 million a year. I would have been like, forget basketball. Teach me how to get a job from ESPN.
Oh,
yeah. This is crazy. I'm thinking of so many memories from back in the day now, man. This is great.
Charlie got to do a Bridgewater State podcast, man. That's what we got.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie, are you muted, bro?
Yeah, I don't hear Charlie.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
Get the engineer over there, Charlie. You muted yourself.
So Tony, I remember Eddie Montero had just become a state trooper, and he used to party with us at Bridgewater State, right? And he would come to me and Randy's dorm, and he would put his gun in our drawer.
I believe
I said, I'm like, Eddie, what are you doing bringing a gun to the car? He goes, I can't walk around with a gun. I was at the club. And I'm like, Eddie, I don't want that gun. He just became a Sadie, man. He's carrying around his piece.
Well, funny thing you bring up Eddie Montero is Eddie Montero, when he got on state police, he got on because of Jake Gomes. And Jake Gomes got a lot of Cape Verdeans.
Jake was a man.
Self-included, he got a lot of Cape Verdeans, a lot of writers from the New Bedford area on the job. Jake Gomes was the very first Cape Verdean state trooper, and to this day they still talk about him in high regards. He's a legend today, and shout out to his family because they really paved the way for a lot of other kids in the area to get on the job, myself included. So I wanted to mention him.
Yeah, he actually helped me out.
Eddie being a state trooper because he was always like a funny guy. Like I would never think he'd be serious enough to. When he quit school and said, I'm going to the state police, we were like, yeah, right. Then he was in the training there, that 16-week training.
Yeah, 21 weeks.
Oh, man, we didn't see him for a while. Then he came back. I'm in. We were like, oh, shoot. Mm-hmm. They took
Was Eddie a guy at Bridgewater?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he was one of the best shooters there. Was that true?
He was.
Eddie was a great shooter.
Eddie could shoot us behind him. He played at Wareham High School.
I didn't get to see him play much, but he said, yeah, he's pretty good shooter.
Ask him, he'll tell you about it.
Eddie was a great hitchhiker. My freshman year at Bridgewater, Eddie used to hitchhike back and forth to Bridgewater from Wareham or from Onset, every day. That's how Eddie used to get back and forth.
See him with his backpack.
He used to hitchhike. Wow. Yeah.
Staying in Ronnie Andrews' room for a couple of days.
Yeah.
I remember when I got sick, man. You remember when Rusty Hauptman stole my ID so we can get food at the cafeteria? I was the first couple of days of school.
He was my roommate for about 2 weeks while we were out sick, yeah.
You're saying he's Jamie Casasio.
He's getting involved in all these challenge shows at Bridgewater, these break dancing shows and all that shit. So they thought he was they thought he was an actual student at Bridgewater.
He went to class more than some other people we know.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man, the stuff we did.
Hey, before I let you guys go, who would you like to see on the Really Charlie podcast? We'll start with you, Tony.
I don't know if you had him on your show because I don't watch a lot of podcasts, but I'd like to see Dave Lato.
Yeah, it's a
great choice.
You know, I'm sure you have a lot of good stories to talk with you about.
Sure.
As a player and as a coach.
Yeah. Right. So, what about you, Randy?
If he hasn't been on your podcast, my boy Al Howard. He used to be here, his younger days playing the shootouts down the park, Monkeys Park. That would be nice to see him on here.
True. All right. Stevie?
I'd like to see you interview Mark Dias.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark.
Mark was another guy similar to Jamie. Good on the court and great in the classroom. Mark's made a great career for himself, too. I think he's a financial analyst at UMass Dartmouth, but Mark's always been good. He always knew how to balance school and athletics, and he was a great role model for all of us, through high school and college. He made sure we played the game right. We didn't get big-headed. He was a great person to learn from, and I think he has a lot to share.
True. I'll work on that this week. All right, Comanche, what about you?
I would like to see, has he already been on your show, Bobby Duwat?
Yes.
And also from Boston, Russell Patterson.
Okay, cool. And you, Jamie? What's up, man?
It'd be kind of tough, but probably Todd Reese, my boy. I'd like to see him.
I talked to him today, and we're going to try to make that happen. So Todd will be on there soon.
Looking forward to it, man.
Yeah. He's another dude with a lot of stories. So.
Oh yeah, his career is incredible now too. With the film production he's doing out in LA, he's been involved in a lot of major projects. It's so good to see a lot of the people we grew up with do great things. There's a lot of people that came from the same environment as us that went on to have incredible lives, and it's hard to believe we all started in New Bedford.
Yeah, and don't sell yourself short, man. You all are doing great things, man, and I'm proud of you to be your friend. And
that goes without saying with you too, man.
Likewise,
Thank you, Charlie.
I was never more proud when you were running for mayor, man. I was like, wow, one of us gets in office, man. I said,
Hey,
I can't believe
Hey.
Charlie has a chance to be mayor, and we came so close. But
one of the local politicians says, "Hey, man, Charlie made him spend $100,000." So I'm proud of that in itself, you know.
Wow. Wow.
So almost did it.
it just shows people that anything's possible. People think some things are out of their reach. You went for it, and you damn near got it, you know. And I'm sure
There's still time, man. There's still time, Charlie.
You can always run again.
Dominant part of the community.
I don't know if I run again. Right now, I'm having a lot of fun. You know, politics is kind of crazy. You know, dirty and and you got to run. You gotta have your family support. You know, because they were exhausted because they were running with me for 6 months. When I needed help, they were there with me. So
Absolutely.
before I do it again, I got to make sure I have, have everybody by my side, and then I'll give it a shot again, but not at this point.
Even if it's not in politics, it could be in an administrative role, a school role, anything where you can make a difference. It doesn't have to be politics. You could be in education. You could be in the sports community. I think you'd fit in well in any one of those areas.
Well, one thing I do miss is coaching high school basketball, so I like to get back to
As
that.
do I. As do I.
I really miss that. That was gratifying. That was grateful every single day, you know. And Bishop Stang was good to me when I was there. Bishop Conley, I was there for a couple of years, and along with the high school when I was coaching football there. So I'd like to get back into that.
I always thought about that, but to tell you the truth, I love the kids and the players. I couldn't deal with the attitudes of the parents. That would drive me berserk, man. Like that ruined it. Like because I
It's
saw
gotten worse. It's gotten worse. You know?
Yes.
Parents.
Yeah, I've been coaching for 20 years, basketball and mostly football, and the transition of what Stevie just pointed out, it just gets worse every year. And you feel bad because it's not the kid's fault.
And then you feel like you're letting the kids down if you're not there, but the parents should make it very uncomfortable, like telling you how to coach, wanting their kid to play all the time. Well, your kid's got to earn playing time, you know? Like, there's no such thing as you get a participation award. If you deserve to play, you play. If you don't, you got to work hard until you do. But they'll be on the sideline screaming bloody murder if they kid don't play. I couldn't coach under those conditions.
True. But, hey, we can do this again at any point, anytime. You guys are free. You know, we'll do this again. You know, some other stories. I definitely like hearing more from you. So whenever y'all ready, just get together, shoot me a text or whatever, and we'll do the Holy Family thing again.
Man, this was a blast. I appreciate you bringing us on, getting to see all my boys at the same time.
You know, you guys, Steve, you got all our numbers. We'll have to go up and
Yeah, we're going to get together in person real soon. We're going to make Randy come out. We're going to go.
I'll be out. I will be out.
We're going to pick a date. We're going to drag them out, get a couple of our other boys together, and we're going to really turn it up.
It was good.
Yeah, man, I'm in.
Sounds like a plan.
Likewise, man.
Hey, let's
Charlie,
try it.
thanks for the opportunity, man. We appreciate you.
Charlie, it was a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
I appreciate you having me.
It was a lot
All right,
of fun.
brothers.
This is great, man.
Hey.
Reminiscent.
I appreciate all you guys, man. Thank you very much.
It was a lot of fun.
All right.
All right,
right.
man.
All
All right,
Take
fellas.
man.
All right, fellas.
All right,
Good
Yeah.
seeing you all, man.
All right.
All right. Peace, man.
All right.
Let's see.
What's this story?
All right, everyone. That was Holy Family Crew. Randy, Tony, Comanche, Jamie, Stevie Loach, man. Definitely great dudes. Great dudes. I was so happy to have them on here. And stay tuned tomorrow. We're going to have another podcast with Lexi Barrows, and we're also going to have some of the board members from, New Bedford Strong and talk about the great things that they're doing within the city. So, but Holy Family, great school. I miss it. and everything that came out of that school was nothing but top notch. And it clearly showed in this group that was on this podcast today. So, all right, everyone. Have a great, great night. And see you guys tomorrow at the same time. God bless.